towel today.
You did?
That boy working.
I got my towel today, man. I'm always sweating. I know that.
So good first week with going against the defense, and what were your first impressions of like the offense out there with Anthony as well?
Yeah, I think it's been a great first week. Being able to build that chemistry, I think that's the biggest part. We're finding that what it is we're being good at. Continue to build from that. I think it's the biggest part. Getting those reps together, because that's when you build chemistry, is getting those reps together.
What you got these two quarterbacks out there, very different guys, right? Just what's it been like working with Gardner, and what have been your initial impressions last week or two with Richardson?
So with Gardner, I think he's a well knowledge veteran, smart, low down, kind of cool dude, but at the same time when he gets on the field, it's time to work. So I love about him. He's a real competitor. He brings that out of everybody. With Richardson, I think he's a great addition right now. I think he's learning a lot. I think that's the biggest part about it. And with repetition, comes that learning. And, the sky's the limit for him. He's young, but at the same time, he's picking it up fast, which is a good thing for us, and be able to know that he's going to be where he wants to be at. In the next coming days and weeks and practices.
Ashton, how do you describe the type of ball Anthony throws?
Strong arm, talented arm for sure. Has some zip to it, but he's learning touch as well. I think that's the biggest part about it. When you make that jump, to be able to know what routes and what balls need a certain amount of tempo on it. And I think he's learning that as well. But he's definitely a strong arm, talented arm for sure. It definitely pops out of his hand for sure.
You went through unrestricted free agency for the first time this offseason. What was that process like, and what got you back here to Indy?
I think for me was just finding the best fit that worked for me. And being in this program and this team for 4 years, knowing that I trust people here and they trust me as well was the biggest thing for me, and knowing that I can maximize my ability being in this organization with this team. And I think that's the biggest thing for me.
Ashton, is it different for a receiver when you've got a quarterback that can extend plays to where you can't, I guess, quit on a route? You have to continue to be ready because you never know how long the play may go.
I think the biggest thing is that anytime you get a new quarterback, a new receiver, you got to build that chemistry. So with that comes RBAs, 7-on-7 periods, team periods, and building that out throughout whether it's walkthroughs or with the competitive team atmosphere setting. And with that, with the reps then that comes that chemistry. Because with anything, I think different quarterbacks need different timing, receivers they want different timing. So once we get that that camaraderie going together, we'll be fine.
What's Anthony like in the huddle?
I think he's a quiet guy, but he's also demanding as well. He speaks clear. He's not rushing it. He's kind of he's calm, but at the same time he knows what he has to do as far as going through his reads and everything like that. So I think right now he's commanding the huddle as well, but he's also being the leader he needs to be.
Ashton, as a special teams guy, kind of like working way up the step ladder, what do you think of the new special team rule? The fair catching, the kickoff, and maybe the opportunity that might take away from guys like you who came in the league, being a gunner, being guys that made plays on those type of plays.
Yeah, it's actually funny you said it. I just found that out the other day in the meeting that they changed that rule, and I was like, wow, it's kind of different. It's new. Personally, I don't like to make tackles being on kickoff, but I think everybody adds new aspects of the game as far as how we got to strategically, be able to change up our schemes as far as where we put the ball at. Not as far trying to force returns on kickoff, but more so trying different things out, whether it's squibbing the ball or getting the ball on the ground first, so it's not as easy to call for a fair catch. But I think that's something to adjust to and build into as we go on.
Ashton, you mentioned your tenure here with the organization, being that you are probably the most senior guy of that wide receiver room, a very young wide receiver room. How much even greater of a leadership role do you try to take on in the room?
I think for me the biggest part is leading by example. That's kind of how I've always carried myself. I'm not really much of a vocal guy, but I can be if I need to be. So for me, it's more just doing the right things, whether it's off the field or on the field. Hold myself to that standard that we've set for the team, and then knowing that the guys will follow that and then continue to live to that standard.
Of course, for the most of the offensive coaches, new guys this year, with the exception of Reggie Wayne and Brian Bratton, how much of an asset is it to have Reggie back? And what can that do for you guys as a group to have that continuity?
I think it's big because Reggie's been with us this past year. We built that chemistry together, and he's continuing to hold us to the same standard we had last year, and that's continuing to be better from what we did last year. I think he brings in the mindset of because he is Reggie Wayne, so he has that fire to him of knowing that he holds everybody to a greater standard because he's been through so much success here. I think with that, everybody kind of rallies around and wants to be that same type
Does it feel like the intensity goes up when you're facing defense? You have 11 on 11 drills now.
Absolutely. I think that's what we all play the game. It's all competitive. It's so we get to have fun. The boys are flying around, we're all running around having fun, doing what we do. We love to do. So I think for me, it's it's time to get better. Iron sharpens iron, as they say. But it's always good to get 11 on 11 and see bodies out there and be able to see everything in the full picture.
Shane mentioned that they're going to split reps between Gardner and Anthony Richardson probably for the foreseeable future. As a wide receiver, how do you approach it? Like, you just approach it the same way, like whoever's back there, we just go out there and catch the ball, or are there different tendencies you have to pick up for each guy?
I mean, for us, it's do our job first. We trust the quarterback to get the ball to us, whoever's throwing the ball. For us, it's be in the right spot, be on our plays, we need to be at the right time, so that when the ball does come to us, we maximize our abilities and get to the ball and make the catch. And whoever's back there throwing us the ball, we trust them. They trust us to be in the right spot. So I think it kind of goes hand in hand, not to worry about too much about who's back there, but more focusing on what we need to do to be in the right spot for the team.
Do they throw very different balls, or is it fairly similar, Gardner and Anthony?
I mean, as far as how they throw the ball, it's one arm is like I said with Anthony Richardson, he has a little pop to the ball, but Gardner has a natural throwing motion as well. But they both throw the ball pretty natural. And they both are seasoned with that. And they both have their own throwing motions and stuff like that. But at the same time, it all looks the same to me as far as coming to me and catching the ball. So it's my job to catch it, whether it looks different or not. So for me, it's all the same.
What's been your impression of Josh Downs? I know he wasn't out there today, but obviously a guy who's prolific in college and could add something to this offense.
From what I've heard, he's been looking good. As far as when he came in for rookie minicamp, like I said, I haven't seen a lot of film or anything like that, but everybody thinks highly of him. I think he's a great addition to this offense.